Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Ah, Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Oh, oh, oh. Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Ah, Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Ah, Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery. Oh, oh, oh.
Hey there! Welcome to Mr. Weber's Web o' Mystery, the show where I, John Weber, oh my gosh, did my name wrong. I'll fix it during the show. This is left over from another one of the shows I do. Hi, I'm Captain John. And it's time for Captain John's Web of Mystery. It's Mr. Weber's Web. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's get this thing started. As you can see, I am bedraggled. Oh my goodness. Gosh, I hope I remembered to do everything I needed to do to make the internet signal strong. I sacrificed a goat. I danced a mighty dance around a bonfire. I did several things. Hello, everybody. Good evening, Raphael. And Raphael, on the Web of Mystery, I don't think we have congratulated you and all the other Eagles fans for your big Super Bowl win. Congratulations. I hope you're getting a lot of fun out of that. Chris is here. How wet did it get up there, John? It got so wet. In order to go to the store, I had to be on an ark. Not the strongest joke. Chris, you're a good gag writer. Come up with something. It was so wet, blank. We have got a really unusual show for us because I do mostly like to stick with the sort of shows that, you know, would fit under the category of mystery. In radio, that means all kinds of things. That could be a scary science fiction show. That could be a horror show. Could be a show about murder. There's a lot of shows within the genre of mystery in old time radio that are a lot of fun. Oh, I enjoyed those shows a lot. But every once in a while, we should break out a comedy. And that's what we're doing this time. We're breaking out a comedy. Now, I have been extremely, if you will forgive me, and you're a very forgiving group, so I have a feeling I can get this from you. If you will forgive me, I have been very clickbaity about this episode. Let's see. Did I remember to have... I never remember to preload this thing. What is wrong with you, John? There you go. So... this is the ad essentially that Joe Townsend helped me put together. And it's gotten worse. Like today when I was posting about it, I've been mentioning Marilyn Monroe's bizarre threesome, which technically is true, but not exactly. And what am I talking about? Well, I am talking about the time that Marilyn Monroe, in 1952, the end of 1952, I should add, it was November 9th, she appeared on one of the biggest radio shows in the world, in history at that point. And that was the Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy show. Now, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy had been a show for quite some time. They had been the Chase and Sanborn Hour for a while. They had a long history in radio. If you are not exactly sure what I'm referring to, I did not keep that really good picture I had. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Here, I can share this. Sorry for anyone who's listening. You don't get the visual here. But Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy were a ventriloquist act. And as you can imagine, oh, this happens every time. Sorry, I gotta move the camera. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay. Here's a picture of Edgar Bergen with two of his puppets. Now, as we're looking at this picture, on our left is Charlie McCarthy. On the right is Mortimer Snurd. Mortimer Snurd was the dumb yokel character. They did some of their broadest jokes with Mortimer. I'm saying they, as in Mortimer and Edgar Bergen. That's going to happen a lot. Let me tell you a personal story, and this one's really going to be very quick. I met a guy when I was doing an episode of Third Rock from the Sun, and this was in the late 90s. And there's this old guy, Everett. And Everett is playing a guy in a nursing home, and there's a bunch of people in this nursing home on this particular episode of Third Rock from the Sun. The episode's called Portrait of Tommy as an Old Man. Everett was one of the guys at the nursing home. Very funny, very funny. He was a joke writer. I should have his last name, and I'll get it for you, I promise. But Everett said, "Oh man, you know who was nuts? Edgar Bergen. He would make everyone pretend that his ventriloquist puppets were living people." And I said, "No, come on." And he was like, "Oh no, John. No, John. He would make you shake the hands of all the dummies when you came in the room. He would sit down. He would always refer to it as we. He would always wave to the ventriloquist dummies as, you know, his team. And I really, I kind of love it, but I kind of see where Everett's coming from. And of course, yes, Joe Townsend, you are correct. Thank you for being here, Joe, as always. Thank you, everyone, for being here. He's the father of Candice Bergen. I really admire Candice Bergen. I always really liked her a lot. Chris, you say this every time. This is so funny. Chris Ruhlbach gets really strict when we're talking about Edgar Bergen. He says, Bergen was not, all caps, not a ventriloquist. He was a puppeteer. And I counter, no, Chris, he was a very bad ventriloquist. He found a way to throw attention to the doll, to the dummy he was working with. And deadly dolls. We have here at the Weber Internet Thingy, deadly dolls is one of the things that keeps coming up. He was great at misdirection. He could throw attention to the ventriloquist dummy while moving his lips, talking for the dummy. So yes, Chris, technically you are right. That's puppeteering. I mean, that's what Jim Henson used to do. Jim Henson never tried to not move his mouth. So technically you are correct. But I think we all agree whenever we have conversations, and me and the chat have conversations about Edgar Bergen now and again. Why? Because that's what we do on Web of Mystery. Most people agree that it's about the characters. He created a fantastic character with Charlie McCarthy. And Mortimer Snurd, I always loved Mortimer, but you know, I really like that kind of character and that kind of humor anyway. I always loved him. There was a third character. Let's see if anybody can name that third character that that Edgar Bergen would bring in now and again. Not quite as successful as Mortimer or Charlie. What can I tell you about Charlie? Charlie was smart. Charlie was based on a Irish newsboy that Edgar Bergen knew when he was a teenager. And this kid was a little smart aleck, and he always got the last laugh, and he was just a little rascal. And Edgar Bergen did such a good job at capturing that kind of personality and bestowing it to Charlie McCarthy, his little doll. Now, people would say, well, if he's based on a newsboy, why is he always wearing a top hat and a monocle and a tuxedo? And Edgar Bergen would say, because we're in show business. I love that. I love that. There is an old rule in show business, and I know some of you have heard this before. I've heard it from reading the Steve Martin book, Born Standing Up. There was a guy who said to him, when you're performing, always look better than the audience. Always dress better, always be better groomed. Now, obviously, Spider Hat and I do that. We look so much better. Didn't even brush my hair today because I knew I was going to wear Spider Hat. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Raphael says, one paycheck, many characters. That is another piece of Edgar Bergen's genius. And I heard he made stacks. He made stacks and stacks of money. Chris said, I was a ventriloquist and I didn't move my lips. My only ventriloquist lesson was from Sherry Lewis. Oh, I love Sherry Lewis. I love her so much. I love Lamb Chop. Oh, I had the biggest crush on her. Diana J. Brody's with us. DJB says, as a kid, I had both Charlie and Mortimer dolls. Oh, man. So jealous right now. Big, like full-size ventriloquist dolls. I was the worst. I was worse at ventriloquism than Bergen was. Nice. Flobo Voice. I had a top hat once. I bought it for a Let's Make a Deal taping. See, at first I thought that was a setup for a joke, but now with that punchline, I know you're telling me the truth, Flobo. As Flobo always does. What else does Chris have to say? There's no such thing as a bad hair day for a man who owns a hat. Oh, that's wisdom. I feel like you got that off the inside of a Snapple cap. Well, look at all the time I've taken up. That's terrible. Let's get over to this show. We got to get right into it. It's a half-hour show, as most of them are. I want you to remember something very important about the context of this show. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy always, is that true? For most of their careers, I can say that. For most of their careers, they were on Sunday night. Now, you got to remember, this is 1952. So even though it's a relatively, modern for the old-time radio era, which went from the 30s through the early 60s, 1952 is still not a time when you can get away with a lot of naughty material on the air. Sundays are a time of reflection. They were, even for people who didn't celebrate the Sabbath on Sunday, they were still, the nation was still very serious about keeping Sunday very quiet and dignified. Good luck with Charlie McCarthy. So this episode actually became controversial. We'll talk a little bit more after. We're taking this one from the Marilyn Monroe video archives. Here, let me subscribe to them. I'm going to click like on it. Wow, that is 291,000 subscribers. Good for you, MMVA. All right, they have the, this is an unedited version. So you're getting the raw version that caused a whole lot of eyebrows to raise and a whole lot of monocles to drop into cups of tea. So here we go. We're going to listen to Marilyn Monroe. She's going to marry Charlie McCarthy. So let's see how clean that ends up. And this is from November 9th, 1952, right here on Mr. Weber's Web O Mystery.
Richard Hudnut of Fifth Avenue.
Richard Hudnut of Fifth Avenue brings you the Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. Bergen with Charlie McCarthy, Mortimer Snerd, and Ray Noble and his orchestra. Brought to you, transcribed by Richard Hudnut, makers of scientific hair preparation. Tonight, our guest is Marilyn Monroe. Give your hair a beauty finish after your next shampoo. Here's how.
Rinse, lady, rinse. Treat your hair to Richard Hudnut Cream Rinse. After each shampoo, each home permanent too. It gives your hair a beauty finish. Beauty finish. Beauty finish. Rinse, lady, rinse. With Richard Hudnut Cream Rinse.
The magic conditioning rinse discovered by Richard Hudnut. After every shampoo, it makes your hair softer and so manageable. It gives your hair a beauty finish. Insist on the genuine Richard Hudnut Cream Rinse. And now, here is Edgar Bergen with Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, Edgar, are those rumors I've been hearing true? I mean, is Charles actually going to marry Marilyn Monroe?
That's correct, Ray.
Poor girl. Is she paying off an election bet or something?
Well, I can't understand it either.
Incredible.
Marilyn, my Marilyn, this is the day that we will wed.
Oh, yes.
Hello, you poor losers, you.
Charlie? So you're going to give up single bliss for a ball and chain?
Yeah. And being chained to Marilyn is really going to be a ball.
Charlie, do you think that you're ready for marriage?
Ready? Ready, man?
Yeah.
I kicked a hole in the starting gate.
Oh,
I say that, Charles, old chap, I've heard about you and Marilyn Monroe, and may I tender my gratuitous felicitations upon the advent of your nuptials?
Well, I don't think it... what does that mean?
I wish I were in your shoes.
Oh, that...
You know, boy, you must have some British blood in you.
What makes you say that? Eh?
Well, you certainly did Piccadilly. Excuse me, old chap, I just got carried away.
Yeah, keep it up and you will be.
Yeah. You know, Ray, this is quite a step that Charlie is taking.
Oh, yes, rather.
And I would like to ask you, Ray, what do you think of marriage?
Well, Edgar, you know, I think it's one thing that every husband and wife should have in common. Oh. Of course, Charles, I still can't understand why Marilyn Monroe picked you.
I don't know what she sees in me either. Besides, good looks, charm, talent, and personality, that's about all I got.
Well, what do you two have in common? I mean, when you're together, what do you talk about? Who talks?
But I tell you one thing, she's not only beautiful, but she's intelligent, too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you like her IQ.
I like her whole alphabet.
You like her.
From A to wow.
Yeah, all right. I know, Charlie. Well, you know, it won't be the same around the house without you.
No. Well, don't you worry, Bergen. With me gone, you won't be able to keep the house long enough to notice the difference.
Now, tell me something, Charlie. Will you miss me?
Miss you?
Yes.
Well, on days when I haven't anything else to do, I'll try, yes.
At least you will write to me
Every week, Bergie.
Promise?
Bergen, would I lie to you?
Well, you usually do.
Well, there's your answer.
Yes.
But don't feel so bad, Bergen. You can be best man at the wedding.
Oh, by the way, Charles, will your marriage be an afternoon or an evening affair?
Oh, we expect it to last longer than that. So long, everyone. See you at the wedding. Oh, do not forsake me, oh, my darling. On this I will.
Here are Ray Noble, the orchestra, and our quartet to bring us The Live Oak Tree.
book of verses underneath the bough.
A loaf of bread, a jug of wine, and thou.
That's a version of a kind of excursion I'd enjoy with you right now. The book of verses never would be read,
And we could do without a loaf of bread.
and it would suit me fine without the jug of wine.
If I got a little love instead.
When I'm with you,
And you're with me.
it's great to be alive beneath the live oak tree. When I'm with you and you're with me, it's beautiful, the hokey dokey, deep the okie dokie doke.
And this, my dear, is also true. It's great to be alone when I'm alone with you.
We climb a hill to the very top, where it's all so still that you can hear an acorn drop.
The whole day through,
We're on our own, with only Mother Nature for a chaperone. The birds supply the music and we have a song, and it's all for free. When I'm with you,
and you're with me.
and we're beneath the live oak. Underneath the live oak tree.
Oh, dear. Well, Mortimer. Yeah. Have you heard the big news? Yeah. My cat just had kittens. Poor thing, she's awful disappointed, too. Oh? She wanted the pups. Oh, she wanted Well, that wasn't the news I was talking about. Oh, there's more? Oh, yes. You know, Marilyn Monroe and Charlie are getting married. Yeah? Yes. Well, why? Why? Yeah, well, you know, when people get married, they get married because they're in love. Oh, yeah. Seems like there ought to be an easier way out of that. Yeah. Well, you know what marriage is. You know, seems to me it's a friendship that gets all messed up, ain't it? No. I hate to say it, but Charlie and I are saying goodbye. Saying what? Goodbye. Oh, yeah, goodbye. Yeah. I'll see you later. No, not you. No. You see, I want you, Mortimer. I want you to fill Charlie's shoes. Yeah? Yes. What do you want me to fill them with? No. The wedding joke? No. I want you to take Charlie's place. Oh, I see. Oh. You want me to marry Marilyn Monroe? No. No, on the show. Oh, yes. Just think that you'll be known as the partner of Edgar Bergen. Does the name Edgar Bergen mean something to you? Oh, yeah. Whatever became of him? No. Right now, we have to get ready for Charlie's wedding. Now, Mortimer, you're invited. Well, thank you. I want you to watch your manners. I want you to put your best foot forward. You mean the one with the 6 toes on it? Yeah. When people speak to you, you should say, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Now, is that clear? Yep. Yeah. You mean yes, sir, don't you? Yeah. Can't you say anything but yep? Oh, yes, sir. Now, isn't that better? Yep. Want to go around again? No, I don't. Now, another thing, Mortimer. You know, clothes are very important at a wedding. Oh, wear some? Yeah, I know you will, yeah. How do you think you'll feel in a top hat and white tie? Kind of chilly. Yeah. I'll have to rent a dress suit for you. Now, let me see. I'll need some measurements. Yeah. Yes. What are you around the waist? Oh, ticklish. And how about your sleeves? Do you want 34 sleeves? No, I think 2 ought to be plenty. What I'm thinking of is the measurement. Where do you want your sleeves to come to? Well, to me, to you. Now, would you describe yourself, Mortimer, as tall or short? Well, I'd say I'm tall on one end and short on the other. Now, about the trouser length. Yeah, what about that? Yeah. How long are your legs? Well, starting from which end? Well, what I want to know is, how long will you want your trousers? Well, just till the wedding's over. Yeah, I know. You don't seem to understand, Mortimer. Don't you see, if I have your exact measurements now, you'll get a better fit in the end. Well, I was hoping it'd fit good all over. Oh, now, Mortimer, we'd better hurry, because I'm sure you'll want some of that wedding cake. Well, what? Well, you know, they say if a girl sleeps with a wedding cake under her pillow, that she'll get a husband. Oh. Well, that ain't what you get. Oh, it ain't no, sir. You don't get that close. I tried it. Oh, you did, yeah? What did you get? Ants.
Bergen, what was that?
Oh, that's a tom-tom, Charlie.
Oh, a tom-tom?
Yeah. You know, Charlie, his skin stretched over a drum head.
Oh, don't be sensitive, Bergen. Oh.
Those drums are sending a warning, Charlie, to every woman listening. When you give yourself a home permanent, be beauty-wise and neutralized. If you skip the neutralizing step, you're running the risk of hidden hair damage. The chemical action of all Coldway Permanent should be stopped completely at the right time. That's why Richard Hudnut gives you, first, the neutralizer to safely restore your hair's natural springiness. Then, the famous Neutralizer Booster to lock in your wave so it stays lovely even in damp or rainy weather. Neutralizing takes so little time, makes such a big difference. Remember the warning. And remember Richard Hudnut. No other home permanent method guarantees you longer-lasting, softer, more natural-looking curls in a shorter time. Be beauty-wise. Buy a Richard Hudnut home permanent. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you have grown up with Charlie McCarthy, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss his wedding. So come with us to the little wedding chapel where the ceremony is about to be held. And now, while we're awaiting the arrival of the bride, let's listen to the choir as they sing.
When all at once I get a load of my Maria.
Mamma mia, no, she doesn't bother other guys.
And I'm the one who put her wise to their approaches.
Bonus daughters, it's love. Ay, 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 boy, I bring the lady back to USA.
Well, the bride still hasn't arrived, but Edgar and Charlie are in the waiting room. I wonder what they're talking about.
Well, Charlie, in a little while you will be married to Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah?
You know, Charlie, there comes a time in everyone's life when he must learn about certain things.
Yes. Well, what do you want to know, Bergen?
No, I mean, what I'm trying to tell you, Charlie, is that you must understand that single life is not like married life.
Well, I should hope not.
You've heard, of course, about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, I never could figure out what they had in common. It's like a clumsy sort of a match to me.
Well, you've seen the bee go from flower to flower collecting pollen.
Yeah.
Result?
Hay fever?
No. Now, Charlie, you're not making this easy for me.
Sweat it out, Bergen, sweat it out.
Well, let's forget about the birds and the bees. Let's take people.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say, Charlie, is that girls,
Yes, Bergen.
girls aren't boys.
No. Bergen, you've ruined everything.
What do you mean?
Now, Marilyn and I will have to go on separate honeymoons.
Oh, Charlie, all I'm trying to tell you is what I'm trying to explain to you. I don't know what you're trying to...
Charlie!
Oh, Marilyn Monroe. Oh, and you look beautiful.
I'm wearing my wedding dress.
Yeah.
Something borrowed.
Yeah, you didn't borrow enough.
We'll be so happy. I can see it now.
Yeah.
You and I by the fireplace, and the kettle whistling.
Oh, who can blame it?
Charlie, would you mind if I kept on working?
Well, now, Marilyn, let's get this straight. I wear the pants in this family.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I make around $50,000 a year.
Oh, you do? Well, now, you might look good in slacks.
Then that's seven.
Where's Marilyn Monroe? I'm from Look.
Look magazine?
No, I just want to look.
I'm worried, Charlie. The crowd outside. My fans seem to object to this marriage. I don't know why. I'm just a woman.
I know, but you're so good at it. Marilyn, my dear, we were made for each other.
Kiss him, Charlie, just to make sure.
Yes, gladly, all right. They're still playing our song. I think they've enlarged the orchestra.
This is it, Charlie.
Roger. Synchronized wedding rings.
All right, Charlie. We go first.
Stop the wedding! Stop the wedding! Charlie, oh boy. Charlie, you can't go through with this marriage. Look at that mob outside. They'll tear you limb from limb.
Let me see. Good heavens, they're carrying signs.
Yes, look at that one. It says, take the Washington Monument, but leave us Monroe.
There's another one. Things were looking better and better, but you took our girl and left just a sweater. Oh.
Yes, and Charlie, it's not only here. The whole country's in revolt, old boy.
Yes?
Here, look, I brought my portable radio so you could hear what's happening.
And now, here's Gabriel Heater. There's bad news tonight. Marilyn Monroe is marrying Charlie McCarthy. Somewhere in an army camp, a soldier is tearing up his calendar. Somewhere in New York, a man is crying.
That's me. And now for a brief message from our sponsor. Don't do it, Marilyn.
Heaven's sake, turn on another station.
I'll try this one.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Arthur Godfrey, sponsored by practically everyone. Marilyn Monroe is marrying Charlie McCarthy. By golly, there'll be no commercials today. Only last night I was looking at a picture of Marilyn Monroe and smoking, and I didn't even have a cigarette. And now she's getting married, oh dear. Well, this is for you, Marilyn. I went to your wedding, although I was dreading the thought of losing you. Your mother was crying, your father was crying, and I was crying.
His strings are getting soggy. Turn him off.
I'll try this station.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. North America and all you broken-hearted sailors at sea. Quack! The Russians are trying to steal the blueprints for Marilyn Monroe. And here's a personal message to Charlie McCarthy. Why, you little pipsqueak, you. I happen to know that your family tree has a knothole in it. And furthermore, Congress is passing a law to prevent Marilyn from marrying anyone until she's 50. This will be known as the new Monroe Doctrine.
Turn him off. Turn him off. You can't be true. Can you, Marilyn?
I'll try one more station.
Yeah,
Charlie.
try.
Stand by now for the shortwave broadcast. Direct from England, we bring you the Honorable Winston Churchill.
This is America's darkest hour. The entire British Empire extends its sympathy. If Charles McCarthy insists upon going through with his marriage to Marilyn Monroe, I have only one thing to say. Never has anyone so little taken so much from so many.
Shut that thing off.
Charlie, there's only one thing to do. Let's elope.
Elope. Okay, Marilyn. Las Vegas, here we come.
Well, this is the only place open in Vegas now. I guess it'll have to do.
Yeah, look at that sign. All-night weddings, $5. Reduced rates if you play our slot machines.
Come on, let's go in.
That must be the justice of the peace. Hello, I want to get married.
Fine. Have you got a girl?
I'm going to marry him.
Him? That's the silliest thing I ever heard of.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of getting hitched to a hitching post?
Look here, loose and quivery.
But we'll start the ceremony. Now, you take her hand.
There.
Okay, you two know the rules.
Rules?
Oh, I'm sorry. I also referee prize fights. Now, do you, Miss
Monroe. Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe? Miss Monroe, I happen to be a bachelor of very steady habits. And if you could...
Wait a minute. Do you think you can take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
And you, Marilyn Monroe, take... Holy smokes, I'm getting married here.
Get on with it, boy. We'll be late for our honeymoon.
Oh, no.
I came here to marry Charlie.
Well, why take him when you can have this great big bundle of joy all for your own? I may not be young, but I'm still cooking with gas.
Certainly got the popcorn.
Got the popcorn.
Mister, nothing...
I wish I was dead.
Mister, nothing can make me change my mind. So will you please go on with the ceremony?
All right. Young man, let me see your license, birth certificate, physical test.
Yeah, here they are. All the stuff is like that. That's the nastiest I ever heard.
Young man, I can't marry you. In fact, no one can marry you. Look at the result of your physical test.
Well, What does it say?
No blood.
No blood.
No, just sap.
Oh, Charlie!
Edgar Bergen will be back in a moment.
Shine, shine.
Your hair can really shine if you know the secret. And the secret's in every bottle of Richard Hudnut Enriched Cream Shampoo. You can see the shine right in the bottle. And after one shampoo, you'll see the shine in your hair.
Shine up your hair.
The difference in Richard Hudnut Enriched Cream Shampoo is this. It's made with real egg formula. You know that egg is a natural beautifier for your hair. And scientists agree about that. Richard Hudnut Shampoo with real egg formula makes even dull, dry hair shining clean, shining bright and beautiful. Get the shampoo with shine in it. Richard Hudnut Enriched Cream Shampoo.
Wait a minute, Mr. Baldwin. Here I am again. I brought you a new batch of eggs for that Hudnut shampoo.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mortimer. Well, look, one of these eggs is so much larger than the others. Why is that?
Well, one of my hens is an awful show-off.
Oh, Mortimer. Now, here's Edgar Bergen.
I would like to thank Marilyn Monroe for helping us to have so much fun tonight. Until next Sunday, then, good night, everyone.
Remember to listen to Edgar Bergen with Charlie McCarthy, Mortimer Snerd, Ray Noble, and the entire ensemble, brought to you by Richard Hudnut of Fifth Avenue, every Sunday over the CBS radio network at the same time. The voices of Gabriel Heater, Arthur Godfrey, Walter Winston, and Winston Churchill were played by Dave Barry. Marilyn Monroe appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. Producers of the Darrell F. Zanuck Technicolor production, The Snows of Kilimanjaro. Tonight's Edgar Bergen Show with Jack Kirkwood was produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Sam Pierce. This is Bill Baldwin speaking.
Stay tuned now for the Playhouse on Broadway, which follows immediately on most of these same stations. This is the CBS Radio Network.
So there you go. That is the notorious episode of the Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy show. There were a lot of little controversies around this show because, you know, there's still a big puritanical part, majority in the radio audience. So there were clergy people and Mr. and Mrs. America and concerned mothers. There were all kinds of people who objected to this episode. Now, actually, no, they did not promote a film she was in, Raphael. I did look that up. She was not in Snows of Kilimanjaro. That was just the latest of the Darrell F. Zanuck films. They would do that all the time. Cary Grant appears courtesy of Warner Brothers, the producers of the film Depth Charge. Yeah, he wasn't in that movie. It was just the latest thing that they were advertising. Yes, I agree, Joe Townsend. Everybody was way too uptight. But here's the thing you have to remember about Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe became an official movie star in 1953. This is 1952. So mostly what people know Marilyn for is that she is an actress who has been in a bunch of films, none of which she has really been the star. She is not officially a big deal yet. She posed nude. So that calendar that got that big laugh when they make the references to the calendars, that was revealed to be her. Now, obviously, most people know this story that she posed for it years earlier when she had was really starving and working her way up, and posed for a lot of pinup photographers. And she would pose in bathing suits. She would pose topless. But when she posed nude, that kind of rocked the world. think of, if you're from the 70s like me, think of the Farrah Fawcett poster. Everyone knew about it. Now, it was revealed in a "this will destroy her," ha ha, and there was a lot of fear to how the news was broken. It was a scandal. And guess what it did? It made her very popular. Everyone wanted to see the next thing that she was in. Mike Sauter with premature objectionation. I did not say that correctly, Mike. Sorry. Yes. When Playboy magazine was published, the very first issue had Marilyn's pictures in it from that, from that photo session. And of course, she's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. So no one can take away from how gorgeous she was and all that. Yes, I know what you mean, Joe. First Playboy Playmate. That's right. Oh my gosh. Chris says, I had the Linda Ronstadt poster. I gave my father the Linda Ronstadt poster. He hung it up way downstairs in his office. Yeah, very cool. Now, of course, that happened in 1954, but she was already notorious. She was a notorious lady. And really what was going on in 1952 was kind of the windup for one of her biggest years. One of her biggest years was 1953. But yes, when Playboy debuted in 1954, she was the first Playboy Playmate. Marilyn Monroe, of course, would go on to have a really rough life. She started out in a really rough life too. She lived in many foster homes and orphanages. She got married at 16 because she pretty much needed someone to save her from the terrible, neglect and abuse that she was suffering. She did divorce that guy in the 40s, and that was a little bit of stigma. That was stigma that she had to deal with. Look, my feelings, I don't know about yours. They're probably the same as mine. I kind of feel like Bernie Taupin and Elton John said it best in Goodbye, Norma Jean. I grew up, a very lusty young man, of course, and just absolutely adored her for how beautiful she was and how iconically sexy. I mean, like the sex symbol of the 20th century. Really, was any woman more powerful as a sex symbol? Was any human more powerful as a sex symbol than Marilyn Monroe? But it was a rough life, and her final film would be in, if I'm doing this off the top of my head, 1961, The Misfits. Okay. So Diana J. Brody is saying, what about Sophia Loren? Oh, yeah. No. Sophia Loren's way up there. Absolutely. I forgot about Sophia Loren, but I would still, and maybe it's just me, now we're talking inside baseball here about the hotties, about the great hotties of the 20th century. Sure. Sophia Loren, Gina Lola Brigida, Jane Mansfield, Mamie Van Doren. I mean, there are so many great women who are just known for being so sexy. I just love that. But, let's face it, give Marilyn Monroe her flowers. Marilyn Monroe is married to 3 men. Jim Doherty, her first husband. Yes. Joe DiMaggio, very short time. Joe DiMaggio wanted a really traditional wife. I don't know why he thought Marilyn Monroe was going to do that. And Arthur Miller. Many people say he tried his best, but really it was not it was not easy to be Marilyn Monroe's husband. Other sex symbols. Rosemarie, says Mike Sauter. Oh, she definitely had her moments. Verna Lisi. I'm gonna have to look that one up, Chris, and I hope you didn't trick me into saying something disgusting, because I know you, mister, and you would do that. And let's not forget Rula Lenska. We are DJB says Sauter won that round, and you know what? We always give Mike Sauter his credit. Oh, yeah, no, Liz Taylor was a looker. I maintain that Liz Taylor is underrated for how beautiful she is and was. Hey, everybody gains weight as they get older. I don't hold that against her. Jane Russell, what an incredible call. I love how this became everybody name somebody who's going to really make me want to see pictures of them later. DiMaggio thought he could tame Marilyn. What a fool! I only knew him from the Mr. Coffee commercials. That's all I knew. Raquel was the next poster. Yeah, Raquel Welch. Oh my goodness. By the time I was a kid, Liz Taylor was the White Diamonds lady. Yes, she was. That was not her greatest moment, although very iconic. How many puppets did Liz Taylor nearly marry? You know what? I'm giving my vote to Raphael for Betty Page. God, I just love me some Betty Page. Okay, let's wind up the show. We did a really great job, everybody. Got some good information out. That was a lot of fun. We're going to bring out some comedies every now and again because I don't know about you. I know that a lot of my friends in chat, chiefly Mike Sauter, because we've talked about this endlessly, we really love radio for comedy. There's just something about old time radio that really lends itself to comedy. As much as it lends itself to the theater of the mind that brings us all these mysteries. But yeah, I'm not going to stick just with mysteries. We're going to play different kinds of shows. Of course, right now, I'm really interested in clickbaiting a lot of people to get to Weber Internet Thingy. So let me get that up on. Okay. I love my wife, as everyone knows. I never make it a secret. And she loves to look at statistics. And she checked out the statistics on my page, and I did not realize this. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I did not realize this, but a lot of people who do see the show do not subscribe. And that's fine. You don't have to subscribe. But if it is within your, if it wouldn't bother you, please do like and subscribe to Weber Internet Thingy. It is our great pleasure, Joe Townsend and I, to bring to you the shows that are on Weber Internet Thingy, Joe Townsend's Dread Time Stories, this one, Mr. Weber's Web of Mysteries. You see the pattern there. Of course, Retro Trekkers, our Star Trek show. And we also do a great show called Retro Trekkers, but Retro Rangers, but that's on its own channel. That's so nice of you to remind me of that, and everybody of that, Raphael. Subscribing is free, and you will get. We do 3 announcements a week. It is not a lot. We will not be bothering you. That's Retro Rangers HQ. Thank you, DJB TV. Yes, you can find us on Retro Rangers HQ. What does Mike have? Not only like and subscribe, but unlike and unsubscribe from all rival shows, too. This year, I have stopped hating Greg Bell on Sirius XM's Radio Classics channel. He's a good man, and I wish him the best. My jealousy of Greg Bell always bothered me. So I just want you to know that exactly what Diana is saying. This show has no rivals. This show's without rivals. And it does have the most supportive chat on YouTube, Raphael. You are 1,000% correct. All right, I am dragging my heels getting out of here because I'm having so much fun. Hey, the next thing you can catch from us here on, from the House of Townsend and Weber, but it is, as Diana said, and let me get that back up on the screen, coming to Retro Rangers HQ this weekend is Battle of the Retro Stars from 1978, is the 5th installment of Battle of the Network Stars from the 70s. And our good friend, our beloved Barry the K. Cordman, will be joining us. Take a look at this graphic that Joe put together. Robin Williams will be competing, as will William Shatner, as will Lou Ferrigno, as will Charlene Tilton, as will Richard Hatch, as will David Letterman. The gal that Letterman's hugging, I don't remember her name, Joe. You must remember her name. And the gal with the wild headdress, she's from Buck Rogers, I think. So Charlene Tilton. Oh boy, was she one of the cutest people to ever be on TV? I am so thrilled. Oh, Marla Jensen. Anyway, I'm so off track here. What a lusty episode this has been. So be sure to join us on Retro Rangers HQ, all one word. And if you ever need to get any of the information, Weber Internet Thingy on Facebook, Hello John Weber on Instagram, and Princess Ardala on Buck Rogers. And that was Marla Jensen. Oh boy, she is so beautiful. So beautiful. The word of the day is lusty. Is that gross when I say it? Is it like moist? Is it well? No. Okay. Anyway, then coming up next Tuesday. Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun retro trekkers. This is one of my favorite episodes. I know not everyone loves it, but honestly, I think it's a really great episode, and I think it deserves our attention. We're going to be watching The House of Quark from Deep Space Nine, and that'll be coming up next Tuesday night. Next Tuesday night at 7 p.m., just like this show, 7 p.m. on the Pacific Coast and 10 p.m. on the East Coast. And coming up next week, it is Hollywood month, after all, here at the Web-O Mystery. This is an episode of suspense. Most radio fans have heard this one before, but I got to tell you, and I don't know if I'm the only one. Tell me if I'm the only one, chat. But when I hear this radio show, every time I hear it, it's always great. And I've heard it a bunch of times, and I went through a long period of not really liking it. And I think I didn't like it because it's so effective. It really gets under your skin. It's really creepy. Cary Grant is fantastic in it. He didn't do a lot of radio. He did some, but he is so great in this episode. So Cary Grant is going to star in On a Country Road, one of the, my head, one of the top 10 radio shows of the old time radio era. So I hope you will join us for that. I hope you will hit the like buttons. I hope you will subscribe if you're not subscribed. And Archibald Leach, that is correct, Chris. Archie Leach, our very own Archie Leach, next week, right here on Web-O Mystery. And I gotta tell you, I think it's time to wrap this one up, huh? I thank you. Spider Hat thanks you. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. What a fantastic time I had with you. And if you're tuning in for the first time, hey, come back. We always have fun here on this show. And that's it. That is it. Goodbye, everybody. Spider Hat, waving goodbye.